Hi, my name is Elger, and this is the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am so happy to be joined by Elger. Hello, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm great. I'm feeling great. I'm in Sweden right now, at home. How are you?
I'm doing well. We were just talking about the time difference. So with the 9 hours, it's just my day's just getting started over here in Vancouver. But I'm so excited that we're finally able to sit down and chat
Yeah.
about Young Royals, the first and second season, currently filming the third. But before we get into the show, I actually wanted to start off by asking you about the initial spark that made you passionate about the arts and pursuing a career in film.
So I think my when I started getting interested in like acting, I was quite small. I was like 9 years old. I did like a musical in Stockholm, and yeah, after that I just kept going, and I because I really enjoyed like being on stage and just getting like the attention of the audience and getting applause and everything. And I think that made me like fall in love with the acting as well. And then I just kept on going, and yeah, and now I really want to pursue my dream of acting. I mean, I love it. It's really fun. So I started when I was quite young. Uh, yeah.
Who were some of your like early influences in terms of like favorite shows, films, actors, different characters?
It's so difficult because I don't think I didn't really have any like big role model. I would say it was more when I came like to when I was in these musicals. I sort of got influenced by the other actors there, uh, and they made me like fall in love more with acting because yeah, I was just so like amazed by how you could have this as a job, like doing acting, like basically just having fun, like doing what you doing what you love. So I think the people I was working with, like the grown-ups and stuff, they were definitely the ones who made me fall in love with acting, I would say.
You mentioned kind of like, theater, you have that stage background, you've studied
Mm.
both dance and music. So what do you enjoy about dance and music specifically?
I just with music, I've been playing clarinet for a very long time, in school and stuff. And no, I just really enjoyed like playing with friends because it's like you get to know people and you have fun and you do because when everyone it's like acting, like when everyone loves doing something and you do it together, it becomes even more fun. So that's what I love with music. And dancing is it's a bit the same. And I just because I was within this musical where we had to dance a lot, and then I really started liking like tap dancing because it's also very much like music. It's like a rhythm. So I think that connected a bit, like the music and the dancing with the tap dancing. And so I really enjoyed like tap dancing.
Which musical was it?
Oh, I was with an Billy Elliot in Malmö and in Stockholm, where I played a role called Michael, Billy Elliot's best friend. So yeah, so I did that for like 2 years in Sweden, and it was great. And then I learned a bunch like dance and singing and acting as well, and that really, yeah, it really made me like love the acting and performing, especially.
Billy Elliot's such a great production. I know they did
Yeah,
the kind
really.
of popular culture movie that they did with
Hmm.
Jamie Bell, such a good film. You also do ballet. I have to say, clarinet, I played flute when I was younger, and those are
Seriously.
not easy instruments, like the
Oh,
whole woodwind section. Do you think
oh, it
it's
really
something
is.
you're going to continue on, like because you enjoy playing?
Maybe not like on a professional, like on that level, but definitely as like a hobby, and because I really enjoy like playing with friends and stuff. It's really fun, and like making music, like with friends who produce music on like the computer. No, it's just like really fun, and I'm really happy I played it for such a long time because it's really something I can just have fun with now and just do for. in my spare time and stuff. It's just great.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill that you don't want to lose. It's like it's nice to
Mm,
have. And I know with Young Royals, uh just speaking about the cast, there's so many like musicians in the
mm,
cast. I know like
I love
Inti's
this.
also a producer. I think you were at an event with him, so th there's someone you could potentially work with in terms of that kind of
Exactly.
space.
Definitely. I mean, there are plenty of people at set. I mean, I think Malte, he makes music. Um, Inti, yeah, he makes a lot of music, and I think Shao, who plays Alexander, he also makes. I mean, I think he also studies um, like he composes music. So I mean,
Yeah, at
they're
Gotland. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I mean, oh no, they're just great, and I mean, we should definitely do something together. I mean, that'd be great. That'd be fun.
Who are some like people who you think have had an impact so far in your roles and as an actor? Just even dating back to when you were younger, can you pinpoint some specific people or places?
I think like all my teachers, when I've been dancing and also like instrument wise, like in singing and just all my teachers, because I think like dancing and just having like a musical ear is very good if you're an actor, because it's all like it's rhythm basically. Also acting like to have the speed when you're like talking to each other and what feels good and to be able to change and stuff. So it's very good to like like have a musical ear, and like dancing to be able to just like be able to move and to be able to use your body in all kinds of ways really helps, like stage acting, for example, and in all acting. So that's what really helped me. So I think all my teachers and stuff have definitely had an impact on my acting.
Definitely like movement and listening. It's something that, you don't always talk about. You're going through your scenes, but it's all these little things that add up to how you
Yeah.
see a scene and that perspective, which is
Mm,
nice. As we get into talking about Young Royals, I will note
mm.
to all those watching, we are discussing spoilers. So please make sure you've
Oh,
watched seasons 1 to 2 on Netflix, although I'm sure most of you have. You star as Walter. What
mm.
do you remember from your casting process? And is Walter the only character that you auditioned for?
I think it was a very long time ago. I was like, I think I was 15 at the time. So I was in ninth grade in Sweden. So I was quite young. And I just got to know that I could do an audition for, I got this audition for a Netflix show I heard, and that it was going to be about a prince at a boarding school. And I was like, what is this? How's this going to be like? Why would people watch this? I was so confused because it was just like a prince at a boarding school. It's like, how interesting. No, so I just did the audition, and I can't remember what scene it was, but I just did a scene. And then, yeah, I got contacted afterwards and they wanted me to play Walter. And I was just really happy. And then I read the script and then I understood, okay, this could actually be a success, which it actually was. So that was just great. And I'm so happy I'm in the show. It's great.
And it's a show that's so awesome because there's so many people kind of similar in age range to yourself. So I
Oh,
imagine it
yeah.
feels very much like some kind of summer school when you're filming. But for your character, like were you given any kind of backstory or context, or maybe did you create some tidbits of information for yourself in terms of his personal life, his family, like his social class?
I don't know if we were told that much, but as we read the script and stuff, I got the feeling that Walter, that he is he's very upper class and he has a very wealthy family. And I don't think he has been working that much in life. He probably has only slided through life on his like family's money and is just doesn't really care, to be honest, about anything else. That he's just having fun and taking it easy. So I think, but I also think he's very well brought up, like a rich family. And yeah, that's my take on Walter.
It's interesting to like kind of form these elements because like you mentioned, like you weren't given it, we don't really get to see some of his life on
No.
camera. What else do you think might be important to him? Like what is his personality like, or is it just all like going with the flow?
No, I think he strives a lot to be like popular in class. I think that is I think he's a bit insecure that he wants to like he feels like that he needs to be like popular, and he wants to have I think he worries a lot about like girls, that he wants people to like him and stuff. So I think that is his uh, I think he cares a lot about that, like popularity. And I think that's also why he wants to become friends with the prince from the start. That, oh, the prince is in school. Okay, we can, if we become friends with the prince, then we can probably become a bit more popular and stuff like that. So I think popularity is probably very important for him. And that probably maybe comes from that he's been secure, maybe. Yeah, I would say probably.
I think that that's a really good assessment because we see kind of these little glances throughout the series, which we'll kind of get into. But
Mm.
um, Walter, so it's written like with a W, but I swear I've heard in the show that it's pronounced like a V. So how would you?
Thing is, I don't know how to say it in English. I think because in Swedish we say Walter, and
Yes,
that's what
so
it
in
is.
English we would just say Walter. So
Yeah,
sometimes it's
exactly.
funny because you're kind of catering towards like the American language,
Yeah.
but I know in Sweden, so we'll try to because another thing is like with Simon, it's like Simon, but then in English, in America or Canada, we would say Simon. So we'll kind of go interchangeably, maybe throughout this
Yeah.
interview, but I'll say it then how you've been saying it, but Walter and Henry, they're often together. So, how
Hmm.
would you describe their friendship and relationship in terms of how long you think they've known each other? What do they enjoy about each other's company? Things like that.
I think I don't think that they haven't known each other for that long. I think they became friends in beginning of like high school when they started at the school. I think they have a very I think they have a good relationship to each other, and it's also like a that they're a bit mean against each other, and they're a bit like teasing each other. So it's like, but not in a bad way. It's just like that's their relationship, and that's how they communicate with each other. That they are a bit mean and stuff. And no, I think they have a great relationship, and they tell each other everything. And I think yeah, and they also I think they have a bit of like the same problems, that they both want to become popular, and they have like same values in life with it, like same that they both have wealthy families and stuff like that. And I think they get along quite well, and they have this like mean-ish relationship to each other, just like teasing each other and stuff. So I think they have a great relationship.
Kind of like that friendly competition kind of thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Like with girls and stuff, I think they're competing a bit. It's a bit like, yeah, competing relationship a bit, but not in a bad way. It's only like fun.
Yeah, probably like with the academics. I know they compare their marks that they get from the test. They
Uh,
both pay for the private tutoring, so there's that kind
mm,
of similar social class.
mm.
Just to confirm, it was definitely Henry who snitched on Wilhelm and Felice, right?
Yes.
Walter
Because
kind of got thrown under that the bus
yeah,
there when he
exactly.
got blamed. He didn't speak up, so I was going to say like, and he definitely needs to stand his ground a little more. Would you agree?
Definitely, definitely. Because I I think Walter, I think probably, to be honest, I think both of them are sort of snitching, that they can't really keep their mouth shut. They tell each other, and then they straight away tell everyone else. So but then they're very good at blaming it at each other. No, so I think that's part of their relationship, that they really can't keep shut, that they have to talk to each other and tell everything. So that's great. It's quite funny.
Speaking of like, they call it the gossip girl. So those two are definitely gossip boys.
Definitely, definitely.
There have been theories that, they are half brothers, step brothers, perhaps they share a parent. I don't think that's entirely true, but what is your response on that? Like, have you seen a lot of or any of those kind of comments or theories online?
Think I've seen it at some point, and I don't want to say no to anything because I think it's quite fun when the fans have these ideas, and I mean it shows how involved they are in the series, and I just think it's really fun. So if people want to think that they're somehow connected in a way, I mean that's great. However, I don't really think so. I think that I think because there was some scene, I'm pretty sure that me and Fabian have talked about it at some point, where Henry and Walter, that their parents have like that they dated or something when they were young, and they got to know that during the series, like during the first year, or like the first in the autumn. But I'm not completely sure. But I think that was how it was. But I'm not completely sure. But I definitely think that they probably have some. I think their parents have some sort of connection. Maybe they have been friends or dated before. But I don't think that they are like brothers or like in any way. But I really enjoy that the fans are speculating and making these theories. It's really fun. It's great.
Yeah, I think it was during Parents' Day. But the thing is,
Yeah.
the dialogue showed that, oh, maybe someone's parents dated, but then we couldn't see like who was talking. So it's kind of like viewers trying to piece together, okay, was it Walter and Henry who were talking? But so
I
you said you,
was. I really think that we talked about it because I have like vague memories about it that we were like, because
like
that
it
was
was a
like,
long time ago. It
yeah,
was like
I mean, it was a long time ago, but I remember that we improvised a lot and that we talked about, oh, maybe, yeah, we're connected in somehow, like our parents used to date. So I think it is true. I think that we were the ones talking about it, but I'm not sure, but I think so.
so you and Fabian have talked about it. So have you talked about, your characters a lot? Because I mean, you two just share like most of your scenes together.
I mean, we do a lot of like improvising, all these like small talk scenes when we're like just chatting and saying stuff to each other. That's all like most of it is like improvised. I mean, when we have like dialogue, like when we say something, um, more I don't know how to say it, but I think a lot of it is like improvised, and yeah, but then of course we talk about it before and see like, oh, maybe this is fun, or maybe we can say this and stuff, and try to like understand our characters in a way that how would they react in this situation, how would they what would they say, yeah, so we talk about it.
Yeah, that's great. And have you two become good friends since filming started?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, the whole group, I mean, everyone is very close and very tight, and it's a great group. It's a very, very nice gang, and everyone's so kind to each other and very funny. It's a very funny crowd. And no, so I mean, everyone, yeah, everyone are great friends. And Fabian and I, yeah, we also went to the same school before. He was in the year above me, so yeah, we talked in the corridors and went to set together from school, and yeah, it was great.
That's a nice little connection there. You'll
Yeah.
both be alumni, I guess, once you end up graduating. But in terms of your favorite scene between seasons one and two, you could pick any. Which was your favorite scene to be a part of and why?
I really like the ones when we're sitting by the table, and I don't know any like specific one, but there's always so much going on. It's like it's these like small things that don't say in the manuscript. Like people are looking at each other, and there's always something beneath like the manuscript, and there's always stuff going on. Like there was some point we had to like we were just gonna go wild and crazy in the room, and we were like throwing like papers at each other, and there's always something happening. We're like salting each other's food, and yeah, just doing a bunch of random stuff. And then when people are talking, it's always something that's going on. It's very intense, those scenes. And then with Wilhelm bordet, when they're supposed to stand at the table, and when we sing these songs that we also like make up, it's really there's just a bunch of things happening in those scenes. I'm always really excited when we are going to shoot those scenes by the table, because there's always something that's going to happen, because it's always very intense.
Just to clarify, you're talking about the Forest Ridge House
Yeah, exactly.
dining room
Yeah,
scenes.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it's in English, because we say, I think it's in Swedish it's Skogsbacken.
Okay, yeah, definitely not the same in
No,
America. We
exactly.
would
So I
say
mean,
like dining hall or dining room
yeah,
scenes,
the
but
dining room
those
scenes.
are nice because like you mentioned, it's a constant throughout the two seasons, like kind of coming back to something that's so ingrained in like the boarding school life and boarding school culture. The food, do you actually get to kind of eat a meal there, or is it all just for show?
Thing is, I'm often very hungry, so I often eat quite a lot, and I take more food, and I kind of eat during the scenes. But it's like it's decent food. It's not that bad. But you can, I mean, you can definitely eat it, but most people don't really. Most people like maybe eat very little during the takes, but
You're like a free meal. I'm
yeah,
there.
I'm like free meal, perfect. Yes, why not? So I just like start eating, and it's great.
What's the best item or food that you've had on set, like during one of those scenes?
Ooh, I can't remember. I'm not sure. We often get like pasta. It's like pasta salads with different things in it. I can't remember, but or like these like lentil beef, patties in a way, or what it's called. I don't know in
I think,
English.
yeah, patties, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they're like veganish, and they're often quite good. No, but it's very different. It's I can't really remember it. It was nothing has been like super good that I like really remember it, but it's like it's good food. I mean, you just eat it because it's food, and it's like free meal, like you
Yeah,
said.
and like pasta salad, doesn't
Yeah, I
sound
mean,
too
pasta
bad at
salad. Yeah,
all. Yeah.
no, it's great.
So you were part of the St. Lucia celebrations,
Hmm.
season 1, episode 5. What do you remember from filming that whole scene? There was like the nice candle choir coming in as well.
No, I mean, it was a long time ago, but I remember like Sancta Lucia, that like holiday, that day is like very special in Sweden. It's always very cozy, and it's during the winter, and it's very calm, and it's very beautiful when the Sancta Lucia comes and with they sing, and it's very cozy. And I think when we were filming that, it really brought up that heartwarming feeling. That it was very cozy and it was very nice. I mean, I always love celebrating Lucia, and I've been in several of those choirs, like singing, and it's a special feeling. And doing that on set also, it was like great. I mean, perfect. It was like an early or a late. I can't remember if it was before Lucia or after, but I think it was during that time. And it was just fun, just getting an extra Lucia celebration, basically. It was really nice.
Yeah, getting to celebrate twice and actually getting to use your singing voice, I guess, in the kind of overall choir, which is something that Walter typically is not involved at
No,
in school.
no, I really, I think it would be really fun if Walter did more choir, but I don't think he will ever
No,
again. But
not something.
maybe that was his part when they noticed that he was terrible at singing, and then was kicked out of choir after the Sancta Lucia. So I don't know.
How about the campus party, season 2, episode 1? You were a part of that with Wilhelm kind of saying, let's get into this party. And then there's that tense scene outside where they initially aren't allowed to enter.
Mm, that scene, I really remember it was hilarious filming it, because I remember when Vincent, that Nils Wetteron plays, Vincent, he was saying so much like fun stuff, like crazy stuff. I don't know if it was actually written in the manuscript or if he was like improvising a lot himself. But I just remembered I had to like keep trying to not laugh during that scene and trying being serious, because he just does it so funny sometimes, the way he says it. Like he said, "Oh, what is this? A circus on like on tour or something. What he says, I can't remember, but it was just so funny doing it. And then always like when we have these like the party scenes, I mean, it's great. It's like you dance and you're just having fun basically. And I remember Fabian and I, we were, or Walter and Henry, they were like filming stuff and we were like, oh, taking drinks and stuff. I mean, it's great. It's fun. But I just remember when we were getting into the scene, like when we were getting into the party, I remember that being such a funny scene. I was just trying to hold myself laughing. And it was great. And it's like that the most of the scenes. Normally there's always something like really funny going on when someone says something and you're just having a really like fun time just trying to stop yourself from laughing because it's really fun.
And it's difficult for you because like the camera when it kind of pans over to Wilhelm and the guys, like I mean,
Mm.
Walter is one of the ones kind of standing next to him. So you really can't break character. You really
No,
need to.
exactly. No, exactly. And if you're not saying anything, you really have to, you can't really be the one to accidentally destroy the take or so, because then you
You're like,
really
you don't want that to be
no,
in
no, no.
trouble. No.
No, exactly. So you really have to stay focused and try just to keep your mouth and try to stop yourself from laughing. It's difficult, but it's fun.
And when they were walking into the party, I don't know if the music was going when you were walking in, but I was noticing like the three of you were walking in at like the beat of the music, like going through that like little hallway into the party. And of course, Walter looks so happy to be there. It looks like he's happy to be at any party.
Especially being at the third graders party, I think he's gassed about that. I mean, he's probably having the time of his life getting into that party, probably, I would
Yeah.
assume.
In terms of extra like curricular activities, he is part of the rowing team. I know you are, quite athletic, but did you have to do any additional training or preparation to prepare yourself for these scenes like that competition against Sprucewood?
We were actually we had some rowing training somewhere in town, like in Stockholm. We went and actually trained rowing, like technique and stuff, together with yeah, the whole class, the rowing team, and together with like someone from like the Swedish national team of like rowing. So that was quite crazy. And I just got there and we did this rowing. And I was like, what are we actually doing? It's like it was so confusing, but it was really much fun. And I think I mean you kind of learned a lot from it, like with the technique and stuff. It was really good. And I think we did that twice, I think. And then yeah, doing on the machines then because we weren't doing it the actual rowing. But it was really fun.
I mean, season 3, will we actually get to see the team on a boat? Time will tell.
Hmm.
It's like, I mean, the machines are a good start. So
Yeah,
it's probably nice because you want to make it look believable that, you're
yeah.
not just going in there and kind of like, I would say they call it here like freestyling it off the
Yeah.
cuff.
No, it'd be fun seeing if we're gonna row or not. I mean,
That would be the next progression. So we'll see
yeah,
if
exactly,
Hillerska's
exactly.
involved in any of that. But I have to say, the race in episode 2 to get a spot on the team, how come no one spoke up that somehow Wilhelm and Simon ended up in front? They took the shortcut. I mean, Walter was kind of right there. So were
I
you
know.
surprised that no one maybe said anything or noticed?
I don't know. Maybe everyone was just like so much in their own head, and then no one was really thinking about what was going on around just everyone. Because I mean, it was a long run, I think. Uh, so I think people just lost track of where everyone was, and then if someone just turned up in front, like, oh shit, he run past me. I didn't notice it. I think it was all very everyone's so focused in their own. However, that scene was so tiring. I mean, I hadn't been training for like I don't know for a while, and that was like really tiring. So when I lay down on the ground during the scene, I was really tired. I wasn't even acting then. I was just so tired.
So you actually had to do like a full run or
No, not a full run, but we were like doing different takes, like a lot of takes, and doing the same, like sprinting, like especially like the last part when we were just like sprinting to get to the goal.
And it's up the hill, right? It was on
Yeah,
an
exactly.
incline.
Yeah, it was up the hill and it was just to the finish line, and we did that take a couple of times, and at the end I was tired. I was like full of sweat, just like really tired. So it was fun. It was
Not a
scary.
fun work day for you.
No, no, it was fun. It was fun, but it was very tiring.
How about the Masquerade Ball, season 2, episode 4? How was that to be a part of? Because similar with Lucia, like this is something that, the production's putting on it, something kind of so big and grand.
That was amazing. That I remember when we were like talking about the scene and I read the script, I was like, wow, this if they manage to get like real good costumes, like it's gonna be amazing. And then when I got to set, I saw all these people like with all these like crazy, like old costumes with the wigs and everything. And I was like, wow, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna look crazy, like good. And I remember when I got my own costume, I was like, what even is this? I was so confused. Like, wow, how did he even get hold of these costumes? They were like really old and like it was crazy. And then the filming day, and like I think we did it a few days, maybe like 2 days or 3 days. And I remember it was like during night. So I remember I was so tired and everyone was really tired. Um, but everyone's still like everyone was still like trying to do it and manage it because we all knew that it was going to look amazing. So that was like the thing that kept us going, because we knew that it was going to be like a great scene, that it was going to be look so good, like the end product, which it did. It looked amazing. But I remember it was like a tiring day, and I went to school the day after, and I was like completely, like really tired, but it was good.
You were like a zombie at school the
Yeah, yeah,
next
no,
day,
really.
just filming. How was that gray wig to put on? Like, was it very tight against your head?
It was, and it was itchy, and I remember like the hair was like pulling a lot with all these like needles and stuff. I don't know. I remember it was itching a lot, and that was the best part as well. Like when you took off the wig, like that was so nice. I mean, then you felt so free when you took the thing off, and it was the best feeling.
We see that Walter has a date, so his method of sending multiple love letters seemed to have worked and served him well.
Yeah, exactly. That was also like a fun part of it, that we were talking about it. Like, what if Walter was that he actually got like one of the third graders to go to the ball with him, and it was just like a fun small thing. If someone noticed it, because it was like a third grader, and I was like, wow, how did Walter manage this? How did he manage to get to go to the ball with a third grader? So I mean, that was just, yeah, so maybe it was his brilliant idea of sending to a bunch of girls. I mean, who knows? Probably worked.
And he also had such a great time on the dance floor, which is another thing about the whole like kind of party animal. Was that actually kind of like the final thing that was filmed? So was that kind of a nice escape, or that was like an excuse to keep the energy level up?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't, I think it could have been at the end. I'm not sure, but it was like the dancing. I mean, that's always so much fun. Everyone just like parties around dancing. I mean, it's great. I love those scenes. They're really fun.
In episode 6, and this is in season 1, so after the sex video is leaked, it's mentioned that Henry and Walter noticed something between Wilhelm and Simon at their movie night. What
Mm.
exactly do you think that they saw and talked about?
I think that the only thing they saw was that Wilhelm and Simon, that they went off to another room, and I don't think that they probably uh, I don't know if they understood what was going on, that they had like a thing, together, but I definitely know that they were talking about it afterwards. That they, I mean, how Henry and Walter always are. They always tell each other everything, and then they spawn new ideas. Oh, what happened, or stuff. So they were probably talking what could have happened and stuff. I don't know.
But definitely without like any kind of really strong evidence. And like you mentioned, they're
No,
always talking. So it seems like it's definitely something they would say after the fact. Remember when we noticed this, although they probably haven't
exactly.
been, actively going like, oh, there's something
No,
going on there.
exactly. I think they probably saw that they went off. That's probably not a big deal. They probably talked about, oh, what did they do? And then they heard about the video, and then they're like, oh my God, shit, we knew that all along. They probably, yeah, probably something like that.
I think they call it here. I don't know what they call it over in Sweden, but they say it's like for clout here. So they're definitely saying that stuff for
Yeah,
clout
yeah,
to kind of say, yeah, like like you said,
exactly.
we knew it. You've mentioned, they're in the same year, Walter, as like Wilhelm and Simon, and he's gotten to spend some time with them at Forge Ridge
Mm.
House, or in class, particularly with Wilhelm, someone who he kind of wants to get close to. What are his impressions of Wilhelm as a person, because he's gone from this member of like the royal family to someone that Walter has gotten to maybe call a bit of a friend.
Definitely. I think from the start probably it was more of trying to, yeah, this like trying to be popular, but to trying to become his friend, to be one of the popular people, to be friends with someone from the royal family. However, I think they're friends, and I think he likes Willem, although I think he also understands that Willem has a lot of things going around, like going on in his head, and there's so much stuff going around him. So that's why he probably hangs out more with Henry, because there's so much going on with Willem. Um, but I mean, they're definitely friends. Like they in the same class, they probably hang out a bit.
And I think like also Wilhelm, like he's still guarded in like what
Mm,
he shares and who he shares stuff with. I imagine that for Walter, or even like Walter and Henry, like watching Wilhelm stand up to August, like in the Forest
mm.
Ridge house for the food, or for the party, getting into the party, it's something that Walter probably really admires and wants that kind of
Definitely.
confidence and belief.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think yeah, definitely like an inspiration in that way, that he thinks what I mean, it's difficult like standing up towards especially like the older kids in like the boarding school, with the way that the boarding school is like how it is in Hillerska, that the older kids have they got the control, and you can't really stand up towards them. So definitely he like respects Willem and admires him for doing that. Um, and yeah, so I think he probably has like huge amount of respect towards Willem, that he actually manages and has the courage to do it.
What can you say about Edvin and Omar as people and as leaders on this show?
They're amazing. I mean, what they have done, that they are the leaders of the show, and that they have brought this story to the world and made it so good. It's just so inspiring, that they are also, that their acting is great, and the way that they're so kind and polite towards everyone on set, that they treat everyone the same, and they're just two great guys, so polite guys, and very funny as well. You laugh a lot at set with them, and it's no, they're just great.
And it kind of filters into American television. I'm not sure if you watched it, but they were on like an American talk show, I
Mm.
think, to
Yeah, I
promote
watched.
season 2, which is probably crazy because you're in Sweden and then here they are, and I think it was filmed in New York that
Mm.
they were at.
That was completely crazy. I really don't understand how that happened. And I think they're like just as shocked as I was when I was watching it, that they got there. I mean, that was completely crazy. No, but they're just really, I mean, you really admire them for being so like, and also with all the hype, with like and all the attention they've got, and all these people that are all the fans and everything. Like you admire how they keep so cool as well, and that they're very chill about it as well, and how because it must be like also very stressful for them, like going through all this, like becoming really famous straight away and stuff. So it's like really inspiring in that way that they're so chill and cool and so like down to earth.
That's so nice to kind of hear because it kind of comes from the top down in terms of,
Mm.
leading by example, being humble, leading with grace.
Exactly.
Why do you think Wilhelm and Simon's story has connected with so many people around the world?
I just think that it's such a relatable, like all these feelings, like as you're a teenager going through all kinds of feelings and emotions and relationships and towards friends and yeah, I don't know, girlfriends and boyfriends and stuff. I mean, all this is very relatable as being a teenager. So I definitely think that that has had an impact on like the whole world and made like so many people so involved in the series because people can relate, I think, as well as like all the other relationships in the series. I mean, it's very relatable, and especially for teenagers going through so much in life, it can probably be very nice to have this. As some, if you don't have anyone to talk to, I mean, you probably see someone in the series that going through the same, and it probably feels very good.
Yeah, and definitely like you mentioned, it's not only, the relationship aspect with like a loved one or a partner, but also with family that's also kind of
Mm.
delves into people living up to, certain kinds of standards. And that's why we watch like good TV to have not only an escape, but also have people who we can connect to. So
Mm.
that's a very good point there. For Walter going into the season 2 finale, like what feelings or thoughts do you think he had watching Wilhelm give his Jubilee speech? Like, did that public gesture come as a surprise to him?
I definitely think that came as a surprise, and I think um, I think just as like Wilhelm stands up towards like all the first graders, towards like the third graders with the food and everything, I think Walter admires him in the same way that he manages to stand up for himself and towards like the whole world, basically. And definitely he was so surprised. He definitely knew. I mean, everyone knew about the video and that it was Wilhelm and Simon. But the fact that he actually told it to the whole world and admitted it that it was him in the video is like that was crazy. I think he was very surprised, but also that he really admires Wilhelm for actually standing up for himself. Sort of, yeah.
So what's interesting is that like with Wilhelm and Simon, like I don't think Walter's interacted with Simon too much, but do you think that like he would be accepting or kind of would be happy to kind of invite him into the friend group, or is there like maybe a little bit of I don't know you quite yet kind of thing?
I'm not definitely. I mean, because he's friends with Wilhelm, and I mean, uh, I think I'm sure that they probably have hung out sometime at some point. And yeah, I mean, of course, they probably could hang out at some point. I'm not sure.
We're trying not to like talk over scenes that you may or may not have filmed for season
No,
2, but I'm
exactly.
sure that you would also like welcome more scenes to be shared with either of those actors going
Hmm.
forward. In your opinion, like how does August differ from Vincent in their leadership style, both as like prefect of the house and also as rowing team captain?
I feel that August is very passionate about it, and that's like his life and his like dream to be the leader of this like rowing team, for example. And I think he's very like driven, and that he really wants the best for the team. Although he can be I think he can be probably quite mean towards the group. but still in a way that he wants to encourage him to do like better with the rowing. However, Vincent, I think he's a bit more. I think he's also very passionate about it, but he also goes and he's mean towards like people personally, and it's not like in a group that he's like tries to encourage them to do better. In that way, is a bit like mean teasy-ish. He more attacks people like personally, and that is what I think kind of separates them in their leading role.
So Vincent does call Walter underdeveloped, both
Yeah,
mentally and physically. And I mean, hearing that, I know it's just acting, but attacking your character like that, like, is it kind of tough to hear? Because I mean, it's really like it's bullying when you think about it.
yeah, it really is. No, I mean, when I read it, I was like, wow, that's harsh. That's like crazy. What is he even saying? So in that way, I think that Walter likes August more as a rowing captain and stuff, because I think he dislikes Vincent a lot. Also, like for being so personal, like being really like mean towards him. So he definitely likes like August more as a rowing captain. Probably misses him a lot as a captain.
So for that, I'm guessing like I know the answer that Vincent is more intimidating to you, but
Yeah.
what can you say about, Malte, and you mentioned like Nils' performances before, like having them take this position of power. It must
Mm.
be interesting for you, and you think they did like a really good job with those characters.
Wow. Yes, of course. I mean, I loved Vince and Vincent in season two was just so it was so brutal. And I mean, he was like crazy and he really went into character that he was like the bad guy. And it was like he knew it. And it was so good. I really enjoyed watching it when I watched season two. And like August, like the character development and that character is like crazy. I mean, you just love it. And Malta's like he's such a good actor. He's great. And the way he understands August and like yeah, how he develops the characters throughout the seasons, it's impressive. I'm impressed by both of them. They're like great.
It's always nice to see them kind of peel back more layers to a character as like
Mm.
seasons progress. And it's funny
Exactly.
because we,
Yeah.
we had spoken with Nils for season one, and at that time he was saying like at the end of the season, with August maybe fall from power, maybe he said Nils could be the one to step up. And this is before like you had received scripts or
Exactly.
anything for season two. So it was a good prediction on his part.
Yeah.
What are a couple of your favorite scenes across the two seasons that you were not in? So scenes that you really like to watch as a viewer.
I remember first when we watched the premiere of season two, and I remember watching when we saw the season when no the scene where August is completely stressed and he's like really stressed and sad, and then when Sarah comes and like calms him down and puts when he puts she puts her hand on his stomach and like feeling him breathe. I think that scene is beautiful, and I think it's like no, it's just they're such good actors, and it's so like touching, like the scene, in a way. I think, yeah, I love that scene. It was quite emotional actually. It was watching it the first time, so I really enjoyed that scene. It was really good. I love that scene. Uh, and then maybe another scene. I don't know. There's so many scenes. I mean,
You're like,
I
I
don't know.
can't choose.
No, exactly. I can't really choose, but I remember that one for being very touching.
You film most of your scenes at the castle, like Hager Home Slot, I think they kind of call it. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's what viewers know as Hillerska. So, what do you enjoy about being on this set and on location?
I think it's a great place because you really come out in the nature. And as I live in town and I go in school in town in central like Stockholm, it's very nice just coming out to set, and especially at this time of the year when it's like such a good weather in Sweden, like sunny. it's just beautiful everywhere, and especially out in the woods when we like film and stuff. It's just it's beautiful, and it's very nice just coming out in the nature. However, being in the nature, there are a lot of snakes at set, which like I'm very afraid of snakes. And as soon as I hear someone, because I've heard a couple of times people have said that they saw a snake, like these venomous, we have these venomous snakes in Sweden, and like one particular species. And no, I was like so scared when I heard that. Like that was scary. But
So
I mean, it's
do you try to
sorry.
stay indoors? I was saying like rather than exploring the
No,
castle grounds, or you do
no.
mix both. But
I mean, we do. I mean, as we're filming, we do a lot of exploring in a way. As we do like these running scenes, for an example, we do. I mean, we go out in the woods, and I mean, it's fun. It's great, and inside as well. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do. We can. There's like this music room. I think they film there as well. So there's a piano, so you can sit there and jam a bit at the piano. And no, it's just like great sitting and eating lunch, and you have like the view of the sea or like the lake, and it's great. It's like it's really nice, just very calming for yourself to just get out there, and it's peaceful and not all these like noises of cars and stuff in town. So it's I like the location very much. It's very nice.
minus the snakes. That's actually kind of
Oh,
scary to think about.
yeah,
Like, do you have to wear
it really
snake
is.
repellent or anything?
No, I mean I hate snakes. That's actually really scary hearing that they've seen a snake. Terrible.
You're like, hopefully you can get out of this whole production without having to see one yourself.
Yeah, we'll see.
What can you say? I know you touched upon like everyone in the cast is so nice. You've really gotten to kind of know and work with them over these 2 seasons, filming the third. What are some of your favorite memories? And that could be on set or even offset, getting to spend time with anyone at any of the kind of premiere events that you've done.
No, I mean I love the whole group. They're so polite. And I mean it's a great group. They're so nice, and it's so inspiring working with a bunch of people, and in like they're that they are like a few more years older than you. It's very inspiring because they're like role models, all of them. So it's great having the opportunity to work with them. And I mean, there are a bunch of memories. It's like every time you sit on the lunch, they're like, sometimes they're like acting during the lunch breaks, that they're sitting and you come and sit down by the table, and then they're like doing like a random scene, and they're like, and they ask you like, oh, what are your thoughts about this? And then you're like straight into a scene, and I just can't keep myself from laughing. So it's like a bunch of memories. I mean, I have a great time during on set with them because I just laugh like so much. And like during these, when we have these, like we have these like parties at the end of like the last day of shoot and stuff. It's like, no, it's great just hanging out with everyone. And they're truly inspiring.
How about the talented crew on set, including like the visionaries behind the scenes, like Lisa and Roshda? What kinds of like interactions have you had with any of them, or like even the crew who I think has kind of been constant over these seasons?
They're all of them. I mean, after you when you see this like the end product of the season, like when you watch it, you really understand like how talented everyone are. And they're just like you get so you get so inspired to like create film as well, like with Lisa, like how she's created this amazing series. And I talk to her a lot, like if we like bump into each other in town and stuff, and it's so like you get so impressed and inspired by her, how she's managed to, how she's made the series from like nothing, and how crazy it's become, and how much attention it's got. And like I'm just so I get so inspired by everyone, just like how everyone's been with and created this masterpiece, sort of. And I'm just so happy to be a part of it. And yeah, it's just great working with all of them. They're great, all of them.
I think the key takeaway from this interview is Uno is inspired by
Yeah,
everyone, by the cast, by the
definitely.
crew. You're currently filming season three. I know you can't do any spoilers, but what can you tease about how it's been to be on set? Like, how have you really felt knowing that this is the final season?
I mean, it's sort of uh, it's a bit of like a sad feeling, but in the same time, it's like it's so nice to be able to finish the whole thing, to be able to end this and be able to tell the story, and to be able to end it in a way. It's just like I think it must be very nice for everyone who's been with in the production, like for Lisa to get like to be able to end the story in her way, how she wants it, and I'm just it's I think it's going to be very fun and sad and happy for everyone watching it, and I'm just so excited to see everyone's reactions um, after. But I mean, set is like it's still the same joyful like atmosphere at set, and everyone's happy, and everyone knows that this is the end, so everyone just does works as hard as possible, and it's great. It's perfect.
There ever any nerves for you that you thought maybe you wouldn't get the season three, or were you like kind of hopeful or confident that you would get that final season?
I was quite confident. I really thought that there was going to be a third season. Um, because I mean the way like the response we got on season two, people were so happy and everyone loved it. I don't think I've seen anyone who's really disliked the series and the season two. So I was quite confident in that there was going to be a third season. And but then when they announced it, I mean, I was happy. I mean, I was a bit shocked as well. I mean, you can't always, I mean, you can't expect there to be a third season. I mean, there could happen. I mean, anything can happen basically. So I was very relieved as well when we got the third season, like the final season, because it's a great story and it really needs to get an end, like to be able to finish the story. I mean, that's important.
Exactly. And like you mentioned about Lisa, like having that closure to do it on her own
Mm.
terms, I think is so important. I guess with Netflix, you never know though, because sometimes
No.
it could be like a week within a week after the season premieres, and then sometimes you have to wait a while. So it can just be a waiting game. But like you mentioned, this is a show that's really kind of gone worldwide from being this little show in Sweden. So I'm so happy to see it. And Netflix, like Nordic, they released the footage from a table read that the cast did. So was that kind of the first time that you were all together in a while, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it was first time in a while, or I hadn't met. I mean, sometimes you bump into people in town because Stockholm is it's not that big, so you bump into people. But it was very nice finally seeing everyone again, and it was also I was quite shocked that they were filming behind the scenes. It was like that they were filming it. So I came into the room and I was like, whoa, there's a camera. Have we already started the third season? Wow, I'm so confused. No, but it was fun and it was great. Also reading because no one had read it before. I think maybe a few people had read it, but I hadn't read it. So actually, to be able to read the first, I think we read the two first episodes. It was just so exciting because you got really, I mean, you really got excited to like just start off the third season, the last season, and to start working on it and get out to set and just work. I mean, you got really, I mean, like hyped up, basically excited to do it.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
getting to share the room with everyone. Well, a lot of you were reading it for the first time
no,
and going through
exactly.
those emotions.
No, it was yeah. People were uh, like happy and a bit emotional as well. I mean, always because it's the last season. I mean, it's gonna be emotional a bit, um, because it's been such a big part of because it's been like a long journey the whole series these two seasons. So I mean, starting off like to end the project, basically, it's I mean, it's a bit emotional to read it the first time the manuscript, but it was a great feeling to just meet everyone again and yeah, to read the whole thing together.
You started filming, was it late 2020 was season one filmed? It was released July 2021. So I'm thinking you filmed it the year
Yeah,
prior.
no, yeah, exactly. It was during the autumn and winter of 2020. So it was also like it was during Corona, so it was very restricted. You had to wear like masks and stuff, and I remember like we had to like test if we had COVID every time we went to sets, and it was a different experience, and crazy how it's changed now.
A
It's
bit more
completely,
relaxed at least.
yeah, it's
So
very
enjoy
relaxed.
each other's company a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. It was it was such a long time ago. We filmed the first season now. I mean, I was like 15. It was a long time ago.
In terms of like response for you yourself personally, what have you kind of seen and received since that season one premiere, and what has that support meant to you?
I mean, it's been like overwhelming, seeing all these personal messages like I get on Instagram, and people are so nice and like so supportive of like the series and my character and me as well, like just like my like TikToks I do just for fun. I mean, I get so much like fun response and people who say that they know that they really love what I'm doing and stuff, and it's so like it's heartwarming seeing how uh like getting all these nice comments, and also about the series that everyone enjoys the series so much. I mean, it's oh, I mean, you don't really want anything else than people to enjoy the series and stuff. So it's like so heartwarming just getting all these comments about how much people love it and how much the people love the character Walter. I mean, it's great.
Especially in a show where, you know, there's so many characters. What's really amazing is that there's so many people who love even like not just the main characters, but like you mentioned, like Walter, like people who don't get maybe as much screen time, but they play a part and people have attached themselves onto these characters, like in terms of fan pages, like fan art. So all of that must be so like spectacular to see.
It was crazy at first, like when I mean, because Walter isn't with. I mean, he's a small part of it, and I mean, how much like attention Walter gets. Like, I mean, that's completely crazy, and it really shows how determined the fans are, and how like as they do like fan fiction and stuff, how they come up all with these small stories and stuff. It's just like it really shows how like passionate the fans are, and it's really, I mean, it's really heartwarming showing that they really, because then you really know that they actually love the series and how much they appreciate the series and us and everyone who's created the series.
And on that note, we'll kind of go through some tweets now. So I'll pass the floor to you. I think there are 6 of them. So we'll start at one and make our way down.
Okay, okay. Uno Elger posted on Instagram, "This is the best day of my life."
Okay,
Oh,
you do not post that much on Instagram. There's
oh,
not a lot of Young Royals content on there. So, like, in terms of when you're thinking about posting, like, is it just something that you like to keep, I want to say, like, behind the scenes memories to yourself, or is it something that doesn't cross your mind too much to post?
to be honest, I think I'm just very bad at taking photos. I think that's the main problem because I'm like, I always forget because I'm always so like in the moment. So I always forget to like take photos as memories on like set. But now I have to do it a bit more for season 3, so everyone can get more behind the scenes photos because they love it so much. No, but this is just really this is just so fun to see that because I never post. I really like never post. But I should more often start posting now because I mean seeing people love it so much. I mean that's so it's fun.
You're like,
Really
this
fun.
is your hint to get more active on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I should. I should.
But season 3 content is coming. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
uh I hope so. I'm gonna start taking a bit more photos. I have taken a few photos, and I'm gonna probably post on my story or something. I had a few photos on the second season that I posted on the Premiere, but I'm gonna post a bit more photos, I think. I'm gonna try.
The effort is what counts.
Exactly, exactly. Uno Elger is my favorite pro dancer. Okay, that's fun. That must be like the TikToks that they have been watching. That is funny, actually. No, I mean, when I do my TikToks, it's like it's just for fun. I mess around with my friends that just doing like a TikTok, and then I post it, and then yeah, people always comment. People say that I'm a good dancer, and that's very fun. That's very.
It's a compliment. It's very
That is a
flattering.
compliment. Yeah.
Can we talk about the use of the hashtag Charlie D'Amelio duet me, please?
That started off as like a joke when I think I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, when TikTok started, when it became, I think when it was a new platform. Um, and Charlie D'Amelio was a very, yeah, she was, I think still she's the huge TikToker. Or at the time she was like really like so famous. And I remember me and my friends, we were just like messing around, making TikToks, and then we hashtagged Charlie D'Amelio duet me, please. And then we made like a joke out of it and just kept on hashtagging it. Like everyone used the hashtag. It was quite funny.
She hasn't duetted you yet, but one can still dream.
I'm gonna have to continue with the hashtag. At some point, she will see it, and then she will duet me.
Do you think that you enjoy using TikTok more than Instagram? Do you have a preference between the two?
Ooh, I mean, TikTok is so easy to it's so much content you get, and it's like you sit and relax and you just scroll TikTok. It's more fun to like scroll on TikTok, but somehow I think I need Instagram more to like keep contact with people and to see what people are actually doing. So in that way, I kind of have to like Instagram more, but TikTok is just like it's more fun to watch. Yeah, sort of.
What's on your For You page?
Oh my God, my For You page is terrible. It's like now the latest like the few days it's been only like football stuff because I watch a lot of football or soccer in the States, and that's the only thing, and I want to get rid of it on my For You page, but it just keeps coming back, a bunch of like football TikToks, and I just don't want it there. But yeah, so
You wish
that's
there
the
was a way to kind of clear that kind of
yeah,
search
exactly.
history.
Yeah. But now it's there, and it's probably never gonna go away. Okay, Uno Elger, it seems I've grown quite fond of you, though there is no sexual urge or desires. You come to me as long lost friend, whom my once picked apples with in Papa's orchard. What? Now I'm confused.
I
Wait,
think they see you as a kind friend.
yeah. Okay, that's what I understood as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's great. Wait, I see the person also has myself as has me as their profile picture. That's quite funny as well. Uh, but that's just so. I mean, I wish I could meet the fans, like just like say hi, and that would be fun. I think we should have. It would be fun with like a fan meetup at some point. That would be great just to like meet everyone, because when everyone writes these fun things and how much they love everyone, I mean, it's you really want to say it back like, oh yeah, we love you too. You're the reason like why the series is doing so well, because all of your like support and love. So it'd be nice to just like give back to all the fans and just say hi to everyone.
Have you considered like an Instagram live, or I think TikTok also has that function nowadays?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I've never really considered it. Maybe I should at some point. It would be
You're like, I
fun.
have to figure out how all this technology on these platforms work,
Yeah,
and
that's because I'm just not that good at being like active on social media. That's not my thing, I guess. Um, but maybe I should. I think it would be fun actually. Especially like maybe on set, like when you're waiting and like doing, because I think Edvin did that during season 2, and it was quite funny actually.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
think like a bunch of you were kind of you made an
yeah,
appearance. Yeah,
no,
you were there.
we were in the background just singing and stuff. It was great. It was fun. So yeah, I should. I probably should. That would be
Might
fun.
have to ask them for some tips.
I should. Yeah, how to be more active on social media. I really need that actually. What if in season 3 it's Ville who catches Henry and Walter making out? Oh, that's actually funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe that will happen. I mean, time will tell in season 3. No, it's just
Have
so.
Have you read a lot of like or seen anyone that kind of ships the two of them together because they have this like bromance thing going on?
I've seen a lot of TikToks, edits, and I've got a lot of messages about it that people ship us. It's very funny actually, and it's just so funny seeing how involved like all the fans are in all these other characters as well that aren't the like center of attention, that they're making up stories and stuff about them, and it's so fun. It just shows how passionate the fans are. It's great. I love it. Keep on doing it, everyone. Just keep on doing it. It's so fun. I enjoy it. Season 2, episode 5, The Crisis of Henry with Chris by Karen Boy. Yeah. Yeah, I ship Henry Walter too. Oh my god, is this like someone has oh my god, someone's been drawing this. Oh my god. Oh, it's like Henry, what are you doing? You study. Never mind, whatever. Oh my god. Oh, it's just a bunch of them shipping us together. Oh, I mean, oh my God, I'm so impressed by the drawing.
I think it's so cute looking.
It's
And I
so
mean
cute.
it
Yeah.
has the likeness. I think it like even the outfit, I'm sure you I think you wore that at some point.
Yeah, that's that's so cute. Oh, it's funny how everyone makes these fan fiction, like these fictions. It's just so funny. I love it. It's really great. And I mean, everyone's so talented as well. I mean, I get so surprised that people are so good at like drawing and stuff. Like getting these when people draw and send it to you, it's like, wow, I mean, it's so impressive.
Are you
That's
a
just,
good artist?
no, I'm so bad. I'm like terrible. I'm like really bad at drawing. So that I'll never post that on my Instagram at least. um, I can post other stuff, not my drawings though.
So it makes it all the more better when you see kind of fan art drawn for yourself and you're
Yeah,
like, that's
exactly.
something that I could never do.
Exactly. I mean, it's amazing. I get so impressed by all the fans. They're so cool, all of them.
And there's a lot more love to come, of course, as we kind of lead up to season three's release. Do you know when you are kind of will be wrapping filming? Is it like how long is the shoot typically?
We're going to wrap it up in the end of June. Then we're like done, and that will yeah.
1 month to go, and then of course there'll be like pre-production, and I'm sure it'll be a big thing once it finally comes out. But like you mentioned, it's kind of bittersweet, but I think
Yeah.
I'm sure fans will be in for a really good conclusion, and all of you have put so much work and effort into the show. So it was so nice to get to hear your insights, and I really appreciate you taking the time. I have one more question for you, our signature question. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Ooh, that's difficult. Okay. Hmm. Maybe I would say, oh, I'm just gonna say my favorite ice cream, and I can try to. I'm gonna say coffee ice cream. I love like coffee latte ice cream. It's so good, and I think I would say I've got quite a lot of energy, like caffeine energy. So I would say coffee ice cream.
I like it, and I like how it relates to yourself, which I always just love to hear, like how you make it, like you personify the ice cream flavor. That's the best part of asking the question. But that's great, and thank you so much, for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was so much fun.
Of course, and hopefully we get to catch up in the future. But until then, you can make sure to catch in seasons 1 and 2 of Young Royals on Netflix. Season 3 is upcoming, and we will see you next time.
See you. Bye.